You know what'll drain your energy really quickly is complaining about other things and other people and hearing other people complain about you, either you or other people or other things. Because think about the very act of doing that is you're perpetuating this emotional roller coaster where you're just feeling things, but it's not really leading anywhere. So it doesn't even have a positive outcome associated with that particular action because you're not being constructive, right? They're not being constructive. So the best thing that you can do is distance yourself from situations that involve other people complaining or you potentially complaining about other people because you'll feel good or you'll feel some kind of hit, some kind of emotional spike just because you want that variation, because you want to feel something. You don't want to feel flat. You don't want to feel dull. You don't want to feel disappointed. You don't want to feel, you would rather feel angry than depressed. And the reason why is because that's technically a higher energy state. You feel more energized when you're angry as opposed to depressed. And that's more, it feels better to be in a state where you feel more energized, of course, unless you're calm and you're not caught up in a cycle or a spiral of either depression or negative thinking or disappointment or judgment or self-flagellation. So keep that in mind. You may be engaging in that behavior because you just want that emotional spike, but you're forgetting that number one, that doesn't lead anywhere. There's no outcome associated. And whatever bonding you're creating with other people, so-called, is surface level and it's not substantial because you're not talking about anything important. And it doesn't have to do with anything of substantial value, of any value whatsoever, except for you venting. And the problem is that the more you do something, the more likely you are to do it. So a lot of people say, oh, venting is very healthy. But as a matter of fact, I could tell you from somebody with personal experience who went through many years, I'm 35 now, many years, especially in my teens, early 20s, just venting and ranting and raving and complaining, is that that actually doesn't do anything. All it does is perpetuates the same behavior. And then it makes you feel helpless because nothing is actually happening and you feel worse about yourself, right? So keep that in mind. If you're in a complaining environment, distance yourself from it because you're not going to get anything out of it. And you should also go into observer mode when that's happening, right? So you take a step back and you really observe how you're operating and how other people are operating. And if you do that, you're going to realize that people are doing or are engaging in that activity for the sake of feeling something, but not necessarily because it's leading anywhere good, not because there's any positive outcome or positive consequence or a result that actually leads them towards anything good. So keep that in mind. Leads to nothing good. There is no result. There is no process per se, because there's always a process in association with where you are and where you want to be. And if that is just kind of perpetuating emotions, and those emotions involve the criticism or the judgment of other people or other things or other institutions with no movement towards resolving those feelings in such a way where it's practical in the world, like you're actually doing something, then it's just a circle jerk of a bunch of fucking bullshit. So I'm very tired, so I don't that probably wasn't really that helpful, but I thought I'd record it just for the sake of recording it and maybe giving you a little bit of perspective, a little bit of nightly perspective before the weekend. So I'll keep that there and I'll catch you next time.